Ever wondered if a bison can win the 100-meter dash at the Olympics? Welcome to an adventure into the world of bison, where we'll be tackling hilarious myths and contrasting them with some surprising facts. Today we're playing detective, separating fiction from reality about these majestic creatures. Is it a bear or a bull? Can it sprint like an Olympian? These questions, and many more, are what we're about to uncover. So, are you ready to debunk some bison myths? Well, stick around to find out if that's a myth or a fact. Some say a bison is just a bear in a bull costume. Sounds legit, right? But let's take a closer look. While it's true that bison, bears, and bulls all have a certain rugged charm, they are as different as chalk and cheese. And a third thing that's not like chalk or cheese. Firstly, bison are the largest mammals in North America, while bears are carnivores and bulls are, well, they're bulls. Secondly, bison have a hump at their shoulders made of muscle, useful for plowing through snow and undergrowth. Bears, on the other hand, are more into climbing and swimming, and bulls, they'd rather lock horns with a rival than plow through anything. And lastly, while bears and bulls might be known for their strength and aggression, bison are surprisingly peaceful herbivores, spending their days grazing and minding their own business. So, sorry to disappoint, but bison aren't undercover bears or bulls in disguise. Remember our opening question: can bison compete in the Olympics? Well, let's not keep you in suspense any longer. It's a common myth that these bulky behemoths are sluggish and lumbering, but contrary to popular belief, bison are surprisingly agile and quick on their feet. Picture this: a bison, weighing up to 2,000 pounds, can run at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour. That's faster than Usain Bolt's world record sprint of 27.8 miles per hour. Now isn't that something? This incredible speed, paired with their impressive agility, allows bison to navigate their grassland habitats with ease, outrunning predators and making sharp turns even at full speed. However, don't expect to see a bison lining up on the track anytime soon. They might be fast, but they're not quite Olympic sprinters. So, while they won't be winning any gold medals, they're certainly not slowpokes. Ever heard that bison are loners, preferring the solitary life of a hermit? Well, it's time to dispel that myth with a hearty chuckle. Bison, contrary to this popular belief, are quite the social butterflies of the animal kingdom. They're not hiding in their metaphorical basements, shying away from social interactions. Oh no, they're out there living the life, mingling in the wild and enjoying the company of their fellow bison buddies. Imagine a bison, chomping on grass and looking around to find fellow bison doing the same. It's like a bison version of a garden party, minus the fancy hats and tea. They live together in groups known as herds, and these herds aren't just random bison gatherings. They're structured, with complex social dynamics at play. Picture this: the females, or cows, and the young ones form nursery herds. It's like a bison daycare, where everyone watches out for each other. The males, or bulls, usually form their own bachelor herds. It's a bit like a gentleman's club where they lounge around discussing bison politics and the latest grass trends. But it's not all lounging and grass munching. These herds provide protection from predators and companionship. It's like their very own neighborhood watch system, but with more fur and hooves. And when it comes to mating season, oh boy, do things get interesting. The males leave their bachelor pads and join the nursery herds. They compete for the females' attention, showing off their strength and prowess. It's like an episode of The Bachelor Bison Edition. So you see, bison are far from being solitary. They're social, they're communal, they're practically party animals. They enjoy each other's company, they look out for each other, they compete, they bond, they live together. It's like a bison soap opera out there in the wild. So next time you hear someone call a bison a loner, you know they're just being heard wrong. Here's a juicy one. Bison are meat-eating machines, right? Well, not exactly. I hate to break it to you, but these brawny beasts are not the bloodthirsty carnivores some may imagine. Let's take a moment to picture this. A bison, with its massive hump and towering horns, lurking in the shadows, ready to pounce on an unsuspecting prey. Now, erase that image from your mind because it couldn't be further from the truth. Bison are actually herbivores. Yes, you heard it right. These intimidating creatures are just big, burly salad enthusiasts. While their muscular build and commanding presence might suggest a taste for meat, bison, in fact, have a palate that leans toward the greener side of the menu. They spend their days leisurely grazing on grass, herbs, shrubs, and twigs. Quite the contrast from the ferocious carnivore image, isn't it? Now don't let this herbivorous diet fool you into thinking bison are pushovers. Their plant-based diet provides them with all the energy they need to survive harsh winters, outrun predators, and maintain their spot as one of the largest land animals in North America. So if you're thinking of challenging a bison to a foot race or a wrestling match, you might want to reconsider. Perhaps the most amusing part of this vegetarian-carnivore conundrum is the fact that bison are actually quite picky eaters. Yes, these mighty beasts, known for their strength and resilience, are discerning when it comes to their greens. They'll sniff, taste, and even toss aside certain plants in search of their preferred vegetation. You could say they're the gourmets of the grasslands. So the next time you picture a bison, don't imagine them as the predators of the plains, but rather as the connoisseurs of the countryside, with a refined taste for all things leafy and green. So despite their tough exterior, bison are just big fans of salad. Bison are invincible, right? They're the tanks of the animal kingdom. Well, as much as we'd love to imagine these majestic beasts as indestructible, it's time to debunk that myth. Sure, they've got the bulk, the brawn, and a shaggy coat that would make any supermodel envious, but invincible, they are not. In the wild, the bison's life is a bit like an action-packed blockbuster full of drama, suspense, and yes, a little bit of danger too. You see, bison aren't roaming the plains with a magical force field around them. Despite their impressive size and strength, they have their fair share of vulnerabilities. For starters, their eyesight, not exactly top-notch. They might look like they're giving you the evil eye from a distance, but in reality they're probably squinting, just trying to make out if you're a friend or a foe. And their natural predators? Well, let's just say that wolves and grizzly bears didn't get the memo about bison being invincible. These predators see a bison not as an indestructible tank, but more like a buffet on legs. But wait, there's more. Did you know that bison are susceptible to certain diseases too? That's right, even the mighty bison can't escape the sniffles. They can catch everything from the common cold to more serious ailments like brucellosis. So, as tough as they look, they're not immune to the health woes that plague the rest of us. And let's not forget about Mother Nature. She doesn't play favorites. Whether it's a harsh winter storm or a scorching summer drought, bison, like all creatures, are at the mercy of the elements. So, the next time you see a bison, remember, they might look like the Hulk in a fur coat, but they're not quite as bulletproof as they seem. They're living, breathing creatures, complete with their own set of challenges and vulnerabilities. So, while they might look like they have cheat codes, bison definitely don't play on God mode. So, we've busted some bison myths today. Feeling enlightened yet? Let's do a quick recap. Now, if you still think bison are just overweight bulls, you might want to check your spectacles. These majestic creatures are a species all their own, not simply bovine bodybuilders. And if you were under the impression that bison are slow, well, think again. They're not just lounging around the prairie. These guys could probably outrun your car and win a gold medal in the Bison Olympics if there was such a thing. The idea of bison as solitary wanderers? Another myth busted. Sure, they might not be party animals, but they do enjoy a good social gathering, especially during the breeding season. They're not all about that Lone Ranger life. And let's not forget the myth of the vegetarian carnivores. Despite their intimidating appearance, bison are peaceful plant eaters. They wouldn't touch a steak, even if it was served on a silver platter. As for the indestructible tank myth, well, let's just say that while bison are tough, they're not invincible. They've got their own set of challenges, just like any other creature. And there you have it, the bison, debunked. A creature of strength, speed, and surprising social skills. An animal that's misunderstood and often misrepresented. So next time you see a bison, remember, they're more than just hairy tanks on a salad diet. And that's the real deal about bison.